What were your kind of influences for Rage 2? Obviously you had Rage 1, but what were the kind of inspirations for this sequel?
So, so there isn't really a one thing that you can say that inspired us to make Rage 2, but it is a combination of all the things that we love about movies and comics and books and video games. And both id Software and Avalanche, we have experience making post-apocalyptic games. So we leveraged a lot of the things that we loved about those games. Of course, you know, Rage 1 was a huge influence, but for Avalanche team, they made Max. You know, their Just Cause games have a bit of chaos to them as well. So what's really cool about a post-apocalyptic world like Rage 2 is that it allows us to create anything that we want. We can have sci-fi weapons with monster trucks, with mutants. So it gives us the freedom to be very creative.
At what point did Avalanche come on board? Was it from kind of day one, or did you guys start development and then team up with them?
So Avalanche joined us right from the beginning, from day one. We were very fortunate that they were available and that they wanted to work with us because we wanted to work with them a long time. And Avalanche brings a wealth of open world experience as well as the Apex technology, which is a true open world technology that allows us to create the game that we wanted to make in the original Rage.
So you're using Avalanche's Apex tech. Was there any sort of stuff you could bring over from id Tech 5 into that at all, or was it completely a new engine for you guys? And how challenging was it to also adapt?
Yeah, so the Apex engine is all Avalanche. There is no id Software technology in it. And Avalanche, you know, they are the developer. We have people at id that have helped work with the team, but they're the ones doing the bulk of the work. And at id Software, we usually develop the technology while we make the game, which is so hard. But working with a proven, stable technology that wasn't changing has been so nice, and those guys are so talented.
Was it always a plan to do a sequel to Rage, or is it something that kind of developed organically? Was it always part of the plan?
Yeah, so you know, we've always loved Rage, and we always wanted to come back to the world. That's why we kind of, you know, the end of Rage 1 leaves a lot of things open. So it's nice to kind of come back to this world. But we wanted to push it far enough into the future fictionally to have it stand on its own. So if you hadn't played the original, you know, don't stress about it. You can play Rage 2, we'll fill you in on everything, and you can have a good time. But if you had played the original, there's some things that you'll kind of recognize and know, but it's not a prerequisite.
How did you kind of address the criticisms of the first game in this one?
By making a good ending? Yes. So, you know, one of the things that, you know, Rage 1 was a great game. Millions of people played it, and it was well received. But you know, the technology kind of forced us to have these separate areas. We'd have separate level loads and separate kind of driving, and you had to play the game the way that we made it. Whereas now we have a true open world game with the id style combat, but you can play the world the way that you want. And I think that's really the thing that that people will appreciate with the new game.
I mean, you could do a lot of crazy things as well in the first game, and this one seems even kind of, well, there's way more possibilities. What's the kind of craziest thing you could say that's possible in Rage 2?
Oh, the craziest thing that's possible in Rage 2? That is a good question. I really hope that people will post YouTube videos of stuff I never even thought about. You know, the combo, using the combos to do, you know, ground slam somebody up in the air, vortex them, and then hit them with a wing stick while you shatter them before they hit the ground. Stuff like that, I think, will be really cool. But I do expect to see some YouTube videos of stuff I never thought possible. Yeah,
and kind of leading on from that, do you have a favorite weapon so far?
The grab gun is fun. Grab dart gun. Is fun because you can hit people and then you can send them flying. The wing stick is always, I mean, it's Rage. You know, it won't be Rage without a wing stick. You know, but the abilities are really, for me, the thing that I love the most.
You can kind of see Avalanche's fingerprints all over this and that kind of stuff. You know, like Just Cause tethers kind of have a DNA shared with the gravity gun, I guess. Kind of, what is kind of id's biggest sort of contribution, would you say, to this?
Just the id style combat, the movement as offense and defense, getting you into the action, rewarding you for using your abilities. Heavy, meaty, situational weapons. Like when you play it, you're like, oh, this feels like an id game, but it exists in this emergent kind of system-driven world. So it's really the best of both things.
And it's actually quite a varied world, as you showed us in the presentation today. But I guess mostly the gameplay you've shown so far is mainly deserty stuff.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to show that video, because we don't give. It's a big game and big world, and we don't give everyone hours and hours to play it. Yeah. So we try to show you as many things as we can in the shortest amount of time possible. But it's nice and dense.
You can have swamplands and different environments and stuff. Are there any sort of surprises in there that you'll kind of shock players? Like, I didn't expect that.
Well, we'll see. I mean, if I said them, they wouldn't be surprises. But we have some cool stuff.
Was kind of injecting a kind of brand of kind of dark humor important as well in this?
Yes. We wanted to have fun, and games are supposed to be fun. Yeah. And we didn't take ourselves too seriously. There is, a lot of, humor, but it's an action game, and there's guys blowing up, but there's also stuff that you can laugh at. And I do think that helps set this kind of fun mode and attitude that I think people will really like.
Yeah. What has it actually been like working with Avalanche? I know we've touched on that relationship already, but what's it actually been like? Has there been kind of good kind of crossover there?
Yeah. So personality-wise and how we kind of view video game development is very similar, and those guys have lots of experience, and they're so nice, I joke, because they're in Sweden. I joke that I never met a Swede I didn't like, because they're all so nice. It's like the Canada of Europe, I work with them every day, and we use all the, the newest video conferencing technology and file sharing, and we've really been able to integrate well, between us and them. So Rage 2 will be available this year on May 14th on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 4. Thank you.